One tangible aspect of James Gunn taking over the new DC film universe that I really respect is, at least so far, the dedication to not actually ignoring the comics. And I don't mean making faithful adaptations so much as remembering that the comics exist and using the film adaptations to actually advertise them, rather than just using the comics as a jumping off point for adaptations. Not to put too fine a point on it, but when's the last time you saw a trailer for a Marvel movie include a recommended reading list? But the funny flip side of this approach is made very clear with the first official entry of the new DC universe, Creature Commandos. Because although their original stories were reprinted to get people hyped for the animated series, of which the first 2 episodes at least have been a fun time and you should check them out if you get the chance, it does kind of draw attention to the fact that none of the characters in these comics are part of the show. Hell, even the Frankenstein's monster on the cover is a different Frankenstein's monster. So the Creature Commandos first made their debut in Weird War Tales back in 1980, but their stories were set in World War II, where they were created as a sort of sci-fi twist on the classic monster lineup. Which is to say, they were all regular people who'd been experimented on to give them new monstrous forms, aiming not only to create superpowered soldiers, but give the Allies a psychological edge by tapping into archetypal symbols of horror. You've got Private Warren Griffith, a scrawny young man granted potent but occasionally unpredictable lycanthropy through use of a serum, so a werewolf. Sergeant Vincent Velcoro, who was given a compound that granted him super strength and the power to turn to a vampire bat on command. And Private Elliot Lucky Taylor, a gentle soul surgically reconstructed into a Frankensteinian mishmash of flesh after stepping on a landmine. They were also later joined by Dr. Myra Rhodes, who, thanks to the reckless actions of the rest of the squad, was exposed to volatile chemicals that gave her living snakes for hair. Because comics. Under the leadership of Lieutenant Matthew Shreve, the Commandos killed Nazis, fought dinosaurs, and otherwise conducted a number of harrowing and emotionally draining missions over the course of World War II. Yeah, this was not a particularly happy series. It was something of a major theme that Shreve, despite being the only normal human of the bunch, was the most devoid of humanity. Even Velcoro, who accepted the assignment in lieu of a 30-year sentence for committing treason, and relished in his new abilities and the ability to inflict harm on his enemies, often, frequently called Shreve out on what a heartless bastard he could be, often engaging in morally dubious actions for the sake of the mission and belittling the Commandos as a bunch of freaks. Oh, actually, there is one member of the show lineup who was part of the original team. Kind of. A couple of different GI robots assisted the Creature Commandos at times, the first one being destroyed and the second ultimately being decommissioned at the end of World War II. These GI robots were also known as Jungle Automatic Killers Experimental, or Jakes, but as of yet we don't know if the DCU's GI robot has a similar alias. So this begs the question, where the hell did all these TV show members come from? Well, we'll start digging into that next time.